Hey everyone. Yeah, I guess the whole bullshit rhetoric, the whole advertising campaign that's been presented and put forth by the liberal, you know, political party in Canada, the federal Liberal Party, and their provincial subordinates, it's not working out so well. As much as they tried to put forth and present a narrative that all Canadians were just so gung ho, overwhelmingly to the tune of 2 to 1, right? 2/3 the majority of Canadians were all for the legalization of marijuana in Canada. Until, I guess, they actually learned what that actually entails, what that means. Thanks to people such as myself. This is the thing. This is the beautiful aspect of the modern age of information. These kind of things would have happened so seamless, so streamlined in the past. There would have been even the wouldn't have been even the slightest whisper or whimper of objection on the main stage, right? You wouldn't have heard any of that. But because people now live, like I said, we live in the age of information. So when people learned about that, the Trudeau government was going to legalize marijuana, all you have to do is go to Google or any other search engine and start typing in search strings, search terms that you want to, if you want to learn and educate yourself regarding the particular topic, you're going to start to see now that in addition to the typical mainstream media propagandists and pundits that would be completely aligned with the government and promoting that their type of narrative. But now when you do a Google search, you're seeing all kinds of alternative media sources and outlets and social media sites where you can go to and have a completely different narrative, a completely different opinion presented. Whereas before in the past, it was almost impossible. I mean, other than going out around in public and going door to door and asking people. But now you just, like I say, it's so simple nowadays that you can actually get more objective truth, more varying opinions. The access to information has allowed people's ability to expand their knowledge and intellect regarding any subject that they choose to seek to learn more about, right? This one is a National Post headline. Who wants legal marijuana? Not so many Canadians as once thought, survey finds. So it's another poll or survey that I think it was Deloitte. But let's get down to it. This one is being presented by Brian Hitchinson on October 27, 2016. Analysis. A large majority of Canadians want... Grammar matters. A large majority of Canadians should be want marijuana to be legalized and made available for sale to every adult in the country, regardless of medical need, right? Question mark. Maybe not. A new study conducted by a major financial advisory company and obtained by the National Post ahead of its release casts some doubt on that piece of conventional wisdom. Deloitte LLP surveyed 5,000, so it's a fairly substantial number. But once again, polling is not a representative. 5,000 people don't truly represent the thought and opinions of 35 or 36 million, obviously. So, take it with a grain of salt. It's a poll. It's a survey. Either way, it does show that there's a major discrepancy between other past polls or surveys. They surveyed 5,000 Canadians 19 years and older this summer and found that only 40% favor marijuana legalization, with almost as many opposed, throwing shade on one of Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's key campaign promises for the 2015 federal election. So only 40%. That's a substantial drop, right? What happened? And like I say, I can't help but think, and I know that actually out of all the videos I put out, the views are nothing like, but of course I don't pay for promotion. I don't pay for likes or subscriptions. I don't pay anybody for anything. I just put my information out there. I don't even whore it out. I'm not a great marketer when it comes to my stuff. I probably should be, but I got so many other things I got to do in my life. I can't do everything all the time. I mean, I got to have a life. But either way, the marijuana videos that I've done so far, actually, the housing market and the marijuana videos are the two types of videos that I've done that I've seen that have the most views, predominantly, with a couple exceptions. And I've done what, 210 or plus now, over 210 probably now. So this is a topic that seems to be very important, especially for younger people, but anyone that delves into social media. So, it's an important topic for actually a wide-ranging portion of Canada. But now that they're realizing that all it meant, and I mean after seeing like the dispensaries being closed down, shut down, right, and the raids, and the fact that the government just looking to use it as a economic driver to tax, right, the people. It's like people are starting to realize, like, wait a minute, yeah, this legalization, no, that's not what we really wanted. What we wanted was government not to be able to come after us for smoking a plant or selling a plant or growing a plant. That's all that this should have been. So decriminalization, or no bullshit pretense or premise of government legalization, just pure, it's legal. Do as you wish. It's all yours. Free market. That's how but see, Canadians thought that's how they were foolish, or a portion of Canadians were foolish enough to think that the government actually cared about giving them freedoms and liberty. No. Now Canadians are starting to come around and realize and come to terms with the fact that no, government just wanted to take over that industry and tax the shit out of it and make it so they can monopolize that industry and squeeze out all the mom and pop operations that have been around forever historically. In BC, the province most closely associated with pot production and consumption, 42% of people surveyed were in favor of legalization, with 33% opposed. Next door in Alberta, more people were actually opposed to legalization than in favor of it. In Ontario, 40% were in favor with 36% opposed, while Quebecers were almost evenly divided. So as you see, it's split pretty close down the middle, according to these polls, right? But that's the thing with these polls, the type of people that it leaves a whole, they try to pretend it's an actual proper representation of the public, but in reality there is a substantial portion of the public that don't want to have anything to do with fucking propagating or forcing their opinions or ethics or morality on others, so they won't even participate. So they leave out the most common sense, logically consistent, morally supreme, and compassionate people in Canada when you're talking about these polls, because these people are going to participate in this kind of bullshit. That's just the truth of the matter. Like I say, I'll read one more couple sentences here, but like I say, the Deloitte findings seem at odds with the results from similar but smaller surveys conducted earlier this year by other firms, where as many as 75% of respondents nationwide said they supported legalization. The latest survey comes just ahead of a final report from the Federal Task Force on Marijuana Legalization and Regulation to be delivered next month to Trudeau and his cabinet. Chaired by former Liberal Cabinet Minister Anne McClellan, the 9-person task force is meant to provide advice for the design of a new legislative and regulatory framework for recreational pot. So like I said, it's just a matter of taking over the industry. So is it any surprise? It should come as no surprise that Canadians, or a substantial portion of the Canadians that were all about legalization, right? Especially, I gotta imagine, especially a lot of the younger people now that they're starting to realize and understand that, shit, yeah, damn, I fell for that bullshit narrative of allowing the government to take over the industry. Damn it, I even voted for it. They're having buyer's remorse, is what this article is pointing out, is what this supposed survey or poll is pointing out. Like I say, like I say, polls and surveys, they can be misconstrued, misrepresented, and when you come down to the whole premise of using averages and shit like that, I mean, we all know it's so fucking subjective, it's not even funny, but so are all the other past polls or surveys. So this is just in line and showing that there's a discrepancy between now and then. That's all that matters. I don't care about the fucking numbers. That's all stuff, like I say, completely subjective, and you can do a poll or a survey to make that fit whatever narrative you want to put forth. But it does at least show that people are starting, or Canadians are starting to recognize that, damn it, that was a bad idea. Not a wise thing to do. Give government the premise or the pretense of taking over an entire industry such as the marijuana industry. Bad idea, Canada. Bad idea. I'm hoping a whole lot more will start to come around and realize that that's a bad or a terrible way to ever try to create any semblance of freedom when it comes to smoking or consuming or growing or cultivating a plant. Skinny Libertarian, and I love liberty.